Hey everyone, TimaeuSS. Welcome to another Artery gear video. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks you can do in PvP that may help you with your wins and your journey to climb to the top, okay? So the advice is applicable to every single player at various stages. I still use these tips and tricks at my rank, so I'm group 1, top 10 right now. But I'll show you what you can do. So first things first, I've said in a previous video, never do training mode. Even if you cannot beat people in the live fire mode, don't do training mode, okay? Try to train your units up, get stronger, do it at the end of the day before reset. Only ever do training mode if you're about to hit reset for the day and you still have 10 attempts and you know you cannot beat anyone and your refresh is out. That's the only time you do it. The second time is if you're playing actively throughout the day, you actually will be able to win pretty much all of your battles. Okay, this trick is something that people don't know, is because as you climb, before you reach the absolute top, you'll face a lot of bots. This is before the first shuffle. Obviously, we're in the first season, so there will be bots in the arena to farm points off of. So how do you identify bots? So first of all, if you look at a certain character, sorry, a unit, and you challenge the player, you'll see that it says you haven't joined any alliance. Usually, players will join a guild, and if they haven't, they're probably a bot. So they have to have this message saying you haven't joined any alliance and they have 0% win rate. That is the hallmark of a bot. A bot is so much easier to farm off of. So please do that if you know you cannot beat any of the other players. So we can see there's another bot. This is probably a bot too. And this one is not a bot, right? So in a guild, has a win rate, has a bot. So what you can do is every 30 minutes, beat your bots here, refresh, and it usually gives 4 new players, and the 2 of them or 3 of them or 1 of them usually a bot. So please do check. This is the best way to win, because if you win, you get plus 20 something, plus 16 or whatever, depending on where you are. If you lose minus 6, minus 10, and it all adds up daily. Okay, so do that. And then in terms of your defense, make sure you set your defense. Some people don't set their defense and make sure their AI is doing the right thing. So for example, I have a PvP setting for AI, and you can set up each individual skill. So set up this. I don't use S3 for my Alice because it triggers some of the AI skills. So make sure that you save, and this one is prioritizing highest attack, so it'll go to my PvP, and if PvP is dead, it will go to my Della. So very important, keep that in mind. You save, set a squad, and save, okay? And when you strip your gear off of your PvP units to do PvE, it gets updated as well. So that's another trick. Try to separate your PvP gear with your PvE gear if you can. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult to defend against other teams. However, which means when you're farming other people, you can also check if they have their gears set up or not. So let's take a look. You can determine, I guess, from their power level. So we can see here that in this team, Timmy has very low power, but that's fine because probably a max speed Timmy, right? Look at my Timmy, I'm near max speed, I'm only 2600. So that's fine. Alice is probably doing okay as well, but we can look at the Grace. Grace is only level 50 and 3200 power. So probably this Grace is going to be a bit weak. So you can, probably farm this team if you're feeling up for it, and not have to worry about the Grace, but rather your main target is going to be the Della, because that Della has a 5200 rating, right, versus the 3200 of the Grace. So that is how you can see if sometimes people move gear and see a Timmy with 1000 points, or you see their main DPS with less than 4000. That means they move their gear and you can safely farm them. And a final trick that I use is if you can farm, or if you're fighting the enemy, what you can do is you can actually check what their HP is like. One thing that people don't know about is if you go into PvP and let's say you're fighting, you click on the action bar, it brings up where everyone is. You can sometimes see how fast each unit is on the enemy team, and then you can actually click on the unit to see their HP. This is particularly important if you're fighting the same people over and over again, or if you're not sure if one of your skill is able to kill, right? So I know their tankiest is Morris at 15k HP, right? So it doesn't have implications here because my Vilmus is just going to cleave, but it will have implications later on when you're fighting stall comps, fighting very tanky units, and making a decision on who to target and who to prioritize. So yeah, hopefully these tips and tricks will help you on your way climbing to the top. If you just do bots, there is no problem with you reaching kind of the top general points, 5,000 plus. You can AFK at 4,000 plus if that's fine, but with these tips and tricks, you should definitely be safe for offense for sure. So it's really your defense that you have to work on. Make sure that you have a set of gear for your PvP units, make sure your AI is set up properly, and yeah, hopefully this video has been helpful. I am going to pre-record a bunch of videos because I'll be busy next week, so hopefully these videos are up and scheduled release, and you have more Artery gear content to look forward to. And this is TimaeuSS here. I'll see you guys in the next video.